is a presentation of the iRacing Esports Network.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV. Welcome to the iRacing Esports Network, and welcome to the BSR MX5 Autumn Series from the wonderful Donington Park. My name is Chaz Draycott. Alongside me tonight on the cameras and also helping to commentate is Alex Simpson. And Alex, we've seen a number of series over the course of Apex Racing around here, and it's always provided good close racing. Do you reckon we'll see more of that tonight?
I think so. I think MX5's Donington National, what a perfect little combination. So no massive long straights for huge amount of slipstreaming, but there'll still be some here. But I think more than anything, it will mean that those overtakes, the drivers are going to have to work for them a little bit harder rather than some of the long tracks that we've seen, or the super slipstream ones. So yeah, I think it'll be quite interesting. A couple of really good overtaking positions down obviously into turn one, final chicane's another good one, and then into the old hairpin as well. Also a really good chance for a move. So I think it should be an exciting one. Of course, we have 4 races tonight. The first one, obviously, qualifying is underway now, and then we'll have 3 reverse grid wheels that will spin and determine the grid order for those. There'll be a little 10-minute break in between them if you're not new to the series. So we'll go to my racing ads and then hit it back up when the session comes back up. But yeah, 2 classes. Getting towards the business end of the season. This race obviously was scheduled for the final race of the season, but it's been moved forward because this series, of course, runs parallel with the BSR TC, which is on Thursday night over on the Apex Racing TV YouTube channel. And they usually run at the same tracks. And because of the iRacing maintenance, they had to, the TC series missed Thursday night. So they're having to play catch up this week. Just sort of rejig the schedule around just to try and bring them back in sync somewhat. So yep, that's why any of those that knew the schedule wondered why the hell we're at Donington. Well, this is why.
And it's a hell of a track to be at as well. Like I said, there's always been decent racing around here. It's quite a tight little circuit as well. It's not something where it sort of presents a massive amount of opportunities to you. But when you're in a small car like the MX5, it can be a lot of fun. As you see the championship points, then. Anyone new to the series as well will like to know that the pro drivers will have those little blue stripes next to their names on any of the graphics that you see tonight, and the AM drivers will have the lovely bright green strips on there as well. No sort of identifying things on the cars in that respect, but on our graphics on the left and right, you'll be able to see that anyway. Scott Malcolm at the top of the AM standings at the moment.
Pretty close that series. Look at that.
Yeah, it is. Considering that you get nearly 1,900 points for it to only be about 60 apart is amazing. When it's less than 60, it's just really, really good to see that after an entire year, as well. That in the overall standings, I've been speaking to a couple of guys in the week, and they've said that it is really close in the overall standings. Because this championship, what they do is they have 4 mini seasons. They have the spring, summer, autumn, and winter series, and then they have 1 overall championship for the whole year. So it all sort of contributes into one, but just to break it up a bit, make it a little bit more fun, they have these smaller ones included. This now being the autumn series, with I believe the winter series still to go before. Then obviously it all kicks off again next year. So yeah, it's just been a massive effort by everyone all year so far. As you can see, the guys from the Momo team coming in the pit lane at the moment. Couple of guys really going for it on their qualifying laps so far. Jason Cooper is top of the pile at the moment with Jack McIntyre, Jamie Ayres and Stelian Chepelevsky. So 3 Momo cars, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. For anyone new to the series, you can get used to seeing those red Momo cars near the front of the field. They've been a very dominant force all year, really, haven't they, Alex?
Indeed, they have. So quick. And I think in the overall championship, it's Hefford that's leading the way. So, goes to show. Just sharing the live timing link in the YouTube chat right now for anyone that's in there. So loads of information on there, as you'd expect with normal live timing, and an event viewer as well, which is always useful if you want to go back and check some stuff out later on.
The more you know, the better. with these sorts of things. And any moment now, I believe, yep, we are going to the grid. So as they line up then, Jason Cooper grabs pole position. Not even a tenth of a second ahead of Jack McIntyre second on the grid. Jamie Ayres is third with Stelian Shepelevsky, his teammate, in fourth. Brian Holmes is fifth with Peter Van Gool in sixth. Adam McNally is seventh with his teammate Jack Ashton in eighth. And then Kip Cooper, also known as Kip Stevens, is ninth on the grid with Adam Delmont rounding out the top 10 for Youth Energy. So really good effort by those three teams that we normally see at the front, which is the Momo team, Youth Energy and Swift Cooper Esports. Nick McCarron, another Momo car, 11th on the grid with Jordan Giddings in 12th for Northern Lights Racing GT Omega. Ashley Beard, new to the Youth Energy team, he's 13th on the grid tonight. He'll be happy with that qualifying. It's a good performance. Nathan Davis in 14th place with Max Wright in 15th. And Rob Graham, the highest placed AM driver, in quite a packed field of those guys. He's got Anthony Mott, Benjamin Mears, Carl Hardy, and David Ayres rounding out the top 20. Then they're followed by Scott Malcolm, Simon Nicastro, Joe McDonald, Mick Barry, Jerome Urson, Peter Knowles, Carl Jackalette, and Thomas McDonnell in another big bunch of the AM drivers there. He's down in 28th. Charlie Summers is 29th. Steve Heffer 30th. Craig Williams 31st. Dan Hunt is 32nd. Luke Cooper 33rd. Mikael Garcia 34th. Craig Evans for Northern Lights Racing is 35th. And Cesare Rizzo 36th. Bringing at the back of the field then is Craig Jones for Result Clothing. Tyler Lugo Vickery. Mikey Key and Stuart McFadden joins the fray tonight as well, as we're just about to get the race underway. It's great to see that down the grid there, as you look down the straight, it isn't sort of, they're not all perfectly aligned like you see in a lot of sims and games. There is actually like a little bit of dotting about, and it's just how it would be in real life when you line up on a grid. There's that sort of, I don't know, it's just like that extra tiny little detail of immersion, isn't there, where it's not all absolutely spot on all the time.
It's one of the small things they do, do rather well, actually, just paying attention to little bits like that. Right, lights are coming on. Over to you, Chaz, for the start of this one.
Here we go then. 5 lights. And they're away. They were really not on for very long. Massive clouds of smoke either sides of the grid. A slight wheel spin from everybody then. And it's McIntyre got a really good start. And he's got ahead of Cooper going into turn 1. Chepelevsky and Ayres are going to be a real threat to him as well.
Oh, two teammates get together. That's not good.
Chepelevsky's around and he's flying down the order. I think it was Van Gool that got in there with him as well. Real shame for Van Gool. He's going to be absolutely gutted on that one.
That's not what you need. Two teammates getting together on the first laps. Oh, 3 wide into the hairpin. There was no room there. That was always going to happen. I don't know who was involved, but it wasn't pretty. That was for sure.
I think Nathan Davis was one of the ones involved in that there. Made a real, well, he's gone flying off to the right-hand side. I know that it was Nick McCarron that's gone off, but up at the front then, McIntyre and Cooper leading the way. Then it's 3 Youth Energy cars. That's Brian Holmes, Adam McNally, and I believe it's Jack Ashton in 5th place in the number 98 car.
Yeah, good start from the front too. I mean, obviously they got away nicely, and with the other Momo guys coming together, it's given them a little bit of margin. But I have to feel that Brian Holmes will be able to reel these guys back in very, very quick in this car.
Around in the background, I think that might have been Peter Van Gool.
It does look like, see him on the left, the Momo car, another. So, well, they had a good qualifier, but it's all coming undone right now.
Yeah, and I was saying just before this race just how quick they all were and how dominant they've been. So, sorry, boys, it must have been a long-term sort of commentator's curse. Just thinking about that last chicane as well, I actually joined in with one of the practice races in this car around this track last night with some of these guys, and it is very difficult because you're clipping that curb, and we all know the curbs are huge around the chicane at Donington. And there is a sort of dip on the exit as well. It's really uneasy on the exit, so you've got to be very careful on the throttle. Someone that's going to be very careful at the moment is Jack McIntyre. He leads the way from Jason Cooper, but he's definitely not getting away. That very bright yellow sort of trim with the roll cage and the wing mirrors and the little grille surround is going to be certainly putting him off.
Nice.
He's got a really good line. That. Yeah, it's a very nice shade.
You know what? It kind of reminds me a lot of like back in the day when I used to do RC car racing. That's a very remote control car style livery, that is, with the bright sort of luminous yellow and blue and white. So, but it does look really nice. I like it.
It is really, really good. I think some of the other guys as well. I think Luke Cooper has red highlights on his car. Kip Stevens has bright pink as well. I think Charlie Summers is in their team as well. He had a different livery as well, as you see Stevens coming down the straight there with the aforementioned pink.
Now, if Kip had pink wheels, then I'd have been there because that would have been so RC car like as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the chrome rims, it just doesn't do it. It just don't have chrome rims.
He's got to pimp it out though. It
Not
is an
with
MX5.
pink. Yeah, if you're gonna have pink, you got to embrace the pink, haven't you? So
You do.
don't half do it. You know, whack it on there. Come on, embrace it. Oh, something in front. I can see smoke.
Oh, it's Jamie Ayres.
And Giddings is trying to get Cooper here, and I saw Ayres there just sort of recovering. So he did well. He must have saved that. I wonder if did he go off track? I wonder if I can just get a little replay of that. Lose any positions? He didn't do anything. He may have done.
Let's have a quick look. It just looks like he's on his own, really. It just a bit of a slide on the way in.
It's a shame. I just can't quite get it on the replay because it's just a slide, so it doesn't bring up an event or anything like that. So yeah, unfortunately, we're not able to see him drift through there, which is what he must have done.
Oh yeah, there was a couple of guys in the practice race last night really sideways through there, but that's the thing with this MX5. Once you learn it, it's really good to get the car on the limit. Over the limit there goes Giddings. He's outdone it. He's lighting up the rears to try and spin it around. He just needs to be really careful not to go in the path of traffic. Yeah, whack it in reverse, son.
He tried, but alas, yeah, no dice on that one.
No, it's not as easy as you think actually to rotate this car from stationary. I tried it a couple of times last night because I'm absolutely terrible in this thing, but yeah, when you try and spin it around, light up the rears, it's not as easy as you'd first think. As Giddings gets back up to pace, then back at the front then. This has become a sort of five-way battle now. The other guys are latching on from the Youth Energy team, and it's still McIntyre leading the way. Since I first started commentating on the series, I've seen that he is just consistently rapid. And the Swift Cooper Esports team have been really good as well. They came in, I think, at the beginning of the autumn season, and they've really proved themselves. Got a lot of quick drivers on board. And one of them at the moment is Jason Cooper, and he's going to want that lead back. He started on pole. He wants to get that back from Jack McIntyre, but he needs to be careful because Brian Holmes is behind him. Brian actually signed for my racing team in the week as well, Thrust Vector. We've got him and Jamie Ayres on board now, so it's good to see these guys representing their respective teams in another series. You can just see the lap times at the top of the screen then. They're the fastest times for each class. There's about 7/10 of a second between it at the moment. Maybe just a bit less than that between the Pro and Am cars. Once again, of course, on the left, you can see the what we call the timing tower. And the little blue strips are for drivers that are in the Pro category, and the green ones are for the ones that are in Am. You can see Charlie Summers there, 19 places gained. Really good race for him so far. Hoping that he can continue that, and well, he's broken into the top 10, so I'm sure he'll be happy with that. But this is the view then from Brian Holmes on board, chasing down Jason Cooper and Jack McIntyre. He's got his two teammates behind him then, McNally and Ashton. They've both gained 3 places each. Delmont as well as another teammate of theirs. So they've got 4 cars in a row. Down the around the outside now. It was down the inside as it was a left-hander. As he got it done, you can still hear Jason Cooper's car. He's surely going to defend. Oh! There was no need for the contact at all, and they've still somehow managed to keep it going. But now that's brought McNally into the picture as well. Real shame for it to result in contact like that. But that's the thing with this MX5. If you're these guys have been racing it for a long time, and when you know the guys around you, and obviously you've been racing this series, it's as competitive as this as for as long as you have. You do sort of learn how they drive, and it's good to see that they've both come out of that unscathed. But hopefully they don't do it a couple more times because you can't always risk it.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get the run on the outside of Coppice there, but yeah, that just tiny little bit of contact made all the difference. Cooper using all the track and a bit more as they come out of turn 1. Surely Holmes is going to get the run. He's going to have the inside into the hairpin here, old hairpin, and well, he's not even going to need it. I think he's going to clear him before the braking zone. Indeed he does. Yeah,
nicely done there. It was very focusing getting that car down the crane as Cooper using more of the grass once again, turning it into a bit of a rallycross circuit, but he's not letting Holmes get away with it.
1.65 seconds to the leader. So yeah, while he's battling, Holmes will hope that he gets at least these couple of straights to try and reel back in Jack McIntyre with the slipstream before Cooper starts attacking him again, because if he does, I feel like McIntyre might just jump away and get out of that draft, and then it's going to be difficult to catch him because he is so quick.
Yeah, he's been very, very consistent since we've been watching him in this car, and now Holmes is going to want to defend. Gets a lot of curb on the way into the chicane. But you've got to think that McNally and Ashton will want to put the pressure on to Jason Cooper, because they know that they want to pull him back to obviously keep him away from home so he can go forward. But it's not going to be that easy with a driver as quick as Jason Cooper. Doesn't seem that easily rattled either, to be fair, from what we've seen. Seems to be quite a focused and committed racer. But Jack McIntyre, like you say, getting away with it at the moment. Just having a quick look further down the order, see who's made up a lot of positions, and it seems that Luke Cooper is up there as well. 16 places gained so far. Dan Hunt has also gained 18, as you can see him on your screen there. Dan's always been quick. He's been in a lot of BSR series. And side by side there, down the Craner curbs, that is Luke Cooper, and one of the Autumn Cup Hill cars, that's Scott Malcolm in the number 74. Just behind them is Stelian Chepelevsky, who's dropped 14 places because of that contact early on. Oh, nearly making contact out the old hairpin there. Just ahead of them, Carl Hardy was taking a bit of a scenic route out of the old hairpin. It looks like Luke's going to get this down the inside of Scott now. Stelian's going to try and follow him through. Oh, Luke seems to have gone a little bit wide there. He's actually on the outside now, and Stelian's got his nose down the inside. He's going to try it into coppice. Let's have a look.
Take that opportunity when he get two in almost in one corner, but Cooper, reasonable exit, will get the better drive, but of course Stelling is still there. If he can tuck back in, I was thinking if he could get a better side draft, but in the end he has to completely get behind. I don't think he's going to be able to jump out in time for the break-in. So anything with that little straight is quite short, like I say, which does make for some good racing in this MX5. Is that Hardy with a... No, it's not Hardy, it's Delmont, isn't it, with a problem? Delmont going slow. Why is that?
I saw a bit of dust as we approached the chicane, so I think he might have just put it in the gravel beforehand.
Oh, feistiness going on behind as well. Let's have a look exactly what that was. So some good battles. That is the 1050 Barbonero Racing and Simmortal drivers of Nicastro and Knowles going at it.
Yeah, these guys have been feisty all season. Nicastro came into it quite recently, actually, with the advice of our very own Marco Barbonera. And down the inside of Knowles, that is Jordan Giddings making up for his spin earlier in the number 23 car, and just involved in this battle as well as David Ayres of Result Clothing. He's going around the outside of both of them, coming up to McLean's. Not quite sure he's going to get it done on Jordan. He's a very wily racer, is Giddings. He's very very quick. Oh, I can hear sliding and maybe slight contact up ahead. Oh, this is really getting lit up now. Stelian Chepelevsky then on the back of Luke Cooper. Carl Hardy's in there as well. Delmont's involved. Delmont is still at full speed, so he mustn't have had an issue before. It must have just been a mistake. Luke leads them into the chicane then. Chepelevsky, Delmont, and then behind them as well, you've got Malcolm and McDonald. Oh, it's just... they're just on the edge, aren't they, these guys, as they're going through there?
Yeah, Delmont just holding on to that
there.
there.
In the background. I think that's David Ayres. It is. David Ayres is around. He's not. Oh, there he is. He disappeared. Oh, no! More contact. Was that... Oh, it was one of the Result Clothing cars, wasn't it?
Oh, Delmont out. Wow. Say out. Yeah, there's the Result Clothing just dipping in on the outside. Oh, they have to check up. Simmortal car takes full advantage of that. And up and through. That's Carl. Oh, no! They flicked away just as they were coming together. And, yeah. Well, they're going to survive, but... that's getting a bit, getting a bit leery out there right now.
Yeah, just a tad. As the race goes on, though, people try more and more moves, and it gets a bit more feisty, and it's a shame to have seen it come to blows between those guys. But looking at the lead battle at the moment, then, Holmes is starting to visually reel in McIntyre, with Cooper right behind him still, and McNally and Ashton providing the rear gunner assistance. You can just see on the straight in the background there as well, Jamie Ayres. 8 seconds back from this battle, so even though these guys have been having a bit of a scrap, they're still flying forward. I'm just showing just how quickly you can get this MX5 on the track. You can see by the track map on the right there that the field is actually quite nicely spread out. There's still not many massive gaps between, but really the big gap is actually from these guys back to 6th and further back from that as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they've just leapt away. I don't really know why that huge separation. There must have been something go on or some crazy battle for a few laps that's... really let them just scamper away, because we know how quick Ayres and Summers and that are, so wouldn't have expected them to have leapt away that far.
Could have been Delmont.
On the subject of drivers and gaps and things like that, if you want to get involved, maybe try and fill some of these gaps, you can do, of course. Just check the description out in the video, bsrhub.com. Get yourself signed up on that. Let's turn this from a 40 car grid to a 60 car grid.
And I'm sure that the organisers will be more than happy to welcome that. They love all the frantic racing and the brilliant entertainment that it brings. We hope obviously you are enjoying the stream tonight. We certainly enjoy watching it and doing it. And obviously we are thankful for iRacing for having us on the esports network, of course. Don't forget to give their page a subscribe as well. Give their channel a subscribe. And as you can see on there as well, follow us today, hit the subscribe button, and obviously give the video a thumbs up as well. It's nice to get all the appreciation, not just for ourselves, but iRacing as well. They do a great job with providing all the entertainment and obviously providing all the smashing content as well. But McIntyre needs to produce some lap times here. Needs to try and get away from Holmes. Not long in the race to go now. I'd say probably one more lap after this one. You can see the body roll from the MX5 as they go through the old hairpin. It's absolutely brilliant. Really, really on the ragged edge of, on the edge of adhesion. McIntyre's having to go defensive now, actually. Holmes has got a great run up to McLean's. And he's on the outside, though, and that's going to mean that Cooper can try and get it done. Oh, you can tell what car we're on board with, though, when you jump on with Cooper. It's just neon yellow in your face. And in your face is the back end of Brian Holmes' car. You can see the speed they're carrying through there, then. In third, up to fourth as you come down the straight. You can usually grab fifth just before the crest, where the bridge used to be. And then I'm assuming they'll be going down to third, or I was at least trying to use third the other day. It may just prove me wrong that it's not the right gear to be in. Try and catch the curb, not too much. Chuck it to the left. Try not to let the car wheel spin as you go over the dip, and then down the straight. Trying to make use of whatever tiny amount of slipstream you may get. These MX-5s do punch quite a hefty hole in the air. You just got to get your braking absolutely spot on into turn one. It's very, very difficult as Redgate, because you can sort of think that, oh, the car will turn in and clip the apex fine, but if you clip it a little bit too early and get on the throttle, you do find yourself running wide, because it's quite a misleading corner. Down the crane of curves, a very scary bit of the track, this little dip downhill on the left. You find yourself turning in a bit early, actually, as you go down there. On the brakes to the old hairpin, just feed the steering lock on gradually. Actually, he's got a really good run out of there as Cooper.
That was a great line.
Yeah, he did that really, really well. But just the tight nature of this circuit, though, means he can't quite get alongside Holmes. Is he going to go down the inside into McLean's? He's not. These guys really showing how closely you can race and how cleanly you can race as well on iRacing. Just about to hit the 15-minute mark, so this will be the last lap of the race. And McNally as well, we didn't even know he was there, but he's right in on this fight. Is anyone going to make a move into the last chicane? I doubt it. I think it'll probably be this order as they cross the line, unless Cooper does something erratic here. He seems to be the most feisty one of the lot. Onto the brakes then. Seems like it's going to remain that way. Oh, Holmes actually loses a lot of ground, but now Cooper's been held up, and McNally's going to get him across the line. Is either side by side? I think he's going to grab it. It's going to be the win for Jack McIntyre. Fantastic drive all the way through. Holmes is second. McNally does grab third indeed. So 2 Youth Energy cars on the podium there. Cooper's going to be a bit gutted about that one. A bit further down the order, that's Mears chasing down Stevens and Anthony Mott as well. I think Stevens going to have him across the line. Ayres and Summers crossing the line at further ahead of them. And Cooper does have Mott there. Tiny, tiny gap between them. I think it's 0.05 of a second as we see Cheplevsky chasing down Luke Cooper across the line for 14th and 15th place. And then these guys still filtering through into the chicane side by side. That's Davis and Peter Knowles. Knowles sort of letting him have it. They're the wheels that Kip Stevenson's on his car, Alex. I think they might have swapped him in the pit lane.
Exactly.
Great racing all the way through the field, though. There's always frantic battles going on with these guys, and that's the beautiful nature of this MX-5, to be honest. It's a very, very good little car to drive. It's a lot of fun. And if you haven't driven it before, I strongly recommend it. Especially on a track like this. If you've got yourself a clutch pedal as well and a shifter, it's a real handful trying to heel and toe into the old hairpin. Taught me a few lessons yesterday. But that was yeah, great way to start off the evening, Alex. Really good race.
Yeah, great race. Some good overtaking. McIntyre really did he did the business off the start, really. You know, sometimes they say you can't win it by the first corner, but in this case, McIntyre did exactly that. He got to the lead off the start into turn one, and yeah, his teammates took each other out, and yeah, from then he just had to hold on to it.
And here are the inevitable drifty poos that he normally does. Great car control by McIntyre, to be fair.
Bang on.
He did this.
Where's the smoke? We needed the smoke.
Yeah,
of course, now on his screen, he'd have had loads of smoke, wouldn't he? There.
Oh, he's caught the grass.
That'd look good.
Yeah,
come on.
This at Bathurst,
yeah, come on. I was about to say, come on, Jack, get it into. Yeah, that's better. Have it, son. That looks good.
Brilliant stuff.
Just needs a couple hundred horsepower more so he can really light those wheels up and really sort of put on a show. But yeah, good job. Who says you can't drift the MX-5, eh?
Yeah, Jack's putting us to shame here. Look at that.
Oh, that looks epic! That is what you call car control. Come on, man. All the way around it. We're staying with you. This is just as much action as the race. Round Coppice. Have it. I want to see you do it through. I want to see you do it through the chicane, though, Jack. This is going to be interesting.
Place your bets now, ladies and gents, how this is going to go. We'll open a poll in the chat.
We'll get the results up when we've witnessed this. Oh, he's going to pull it over. I don't know. Hey!
He's giving it a go. Bit of curb. Into the pit lane. Go on. Oh, fantastic stuff.
He is listening. You can clearly tell. Oh, thanks for that, Jack. All right, let me get the results. I've been way late. All right.
And if you want to learn how to celebrate a race, contact Jack McIntyre. So here we are then. Race results. Jack McIntyre, the Drift King himself, wins race 1 of the evening ahead of Brian Holmes and Adam McNally for Youth Energy, 2nd and 3rd. Only 0.02 of a second between McNally and Cooper over the line there. Cooper will be a bit gutted to have only finished 4th in that one, but still, championship points, they're so valuable in this series, as they are in any really, but obviously over the course of a year, they do build up. Jack Ashton is 5th with Jamie Ayres 6th, Charlie Summers 7th, and Kip Cooper in 8th. Anthony Mott, the highest placed AM driver, ahead of Benjamin Mears, rounding out the top 10. Dan Hunt finishes in 11th place. He gained 21 places in that one. A quick shout out to Summers as well, actually. He finished 7th. He gained 22 places. I think he was the highest mover in the field. You've then got Max Wright in 12th. Rob Graham 13th, rounding out the AM podium, with Luke Cooper 14th, Stelian Chaplevsky in 15th, and Scott Malcolm 16th. 17th is Carl Hardy, and Steve Heffer brings the car home in 18th position.
Sorry, I'm just watching. We need to move it forward, don't I?
Yeah, it's all good. I've got the screen on my left, to be fair, as well. So I've got Jordan Giddings is 19th. Joe McDonald rounds out your top 20. Carl Jackalette for Simortal is 21st, with Mick Barry in 22nd. Nathan Davis is 23rd, with Peter Knowles in 24th place. Peter Van Gool, I believe he had contact at the beginning of the race, so he dropped quite a lot of places there, down to 25th. Hopefully the reverse wheel will help him out in this scenario. Craig Jones is 26th, with David Ayres 27th. Jeroen Ursum is 28th, and Thomas McDonald 29th. Tyler Lugo Vickery rounding out the top 30. Ashley Beard is 31st, Nick McCarron 32nd, 33rd is Mikel Garcia, 34th is Adam Delmont, 35th is Simon Nicastro, and Craig Williams 36th, 37th is Craig Evans. I saw him dropping down earlier. I think he might have actually had a connection issue, did Craig. Cesare Rizzo is 38th, Mikey Key 39th, and it does say Stuart McFadden is 40th on my screen, but I don't believe he took the start. It doesn't say he did any laps.
Yeah, I'll see if you finished there. Yeah. Okay. Well, I have to say, fantastic race for the first one of the night. Throw a reverse grid in there, and it's going to get very tasty indeed. Reverse grid. Well, let me bring it up on screen right now. Right, place your bets, guys. What do you think we're going to get today? Of course, we've got 40 cars, so some of these numbers do, are going to play a bit of a factor. Who are we looking at? Who was 1 lap down? Who was the final driver 1 lap down?
Let's have a quick look. It is Craig Williams who will be on pole position from Simon Nicastro. Adam Delmont, interestingly enough, who obviously knocked down the order by a couple of incidents there, so he's going to be grateful to be 3rd on the grid. With Mikel Garcia.
Well, I haven't done it yet. I haven't spun it yet. Sorry, I was just trying to figure out who it would be. Getting ahead of yourself there, Jack.
Yeah, getting a bit too excited.
But yeah, 36 or above, and it's looking at Craig. But yeah, then of course we've got the count back, so the negative, so the falls minus. So yeah, like you say, we've got Craig Simona, Adam Delmont, and Mikel Garcia, who are in a shout, depending on how many minuses we get as well. So let me go ahead, give it a spin. And we'll see who is going to be on this pole position for race number 2 in about 10 minutes' time. Full -2 might be coming into play. It might tick over to 50th, which would put Craig on there. Oh my God, that couldn't get any closer. But I'm afraid, Craig, sorry, you're not going to get it. It's full -2, so it's going to go to Adam Delmont.
It is indeed. That does mean Mikel Garcia is 2nd on the grid, and Nick McCarron is actually 3rd in that one as well, so he'll be grateful for a higher position for the second race of the evening. Me and Alex will be joining you back on the iRacing Esports Network in about 10-15 minutes' time Don't go away.
chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line.
Welcome back to Donington Park, and welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and Apex Racing TV. I'm Chaz Draycott with Alex Simpson alongside me. He's doing the cameras tonight. And we're here for race 2 of the evening. Adam Delmont will be on pole position with Mikel Garcia and Nick McKerran. As you've just seen then as well on the graphic, we've got really high track temperatures in this second race. I believe they were reaching 95 degrees Fahrenheit in the practice session just beforehand, in the warm-up. Looking down the rest of the grid, you've got Ashley Beer, Tyler, not Tiger. Thomas McDonald 6 on the grid, Jeroen Ursum, Dave Ayres, Craig Jones, Peter Van Gool rounding up top 10. Peter Knowles, Nathan Davis, Mick Barry, Carl Jacquelette, Joe McDonald, Jordan Giddings, Steve Hefford, Carl Hardy, Scott Malcolm, Stelian Chepolewski rounds out the top 20. And we'll just fly through the others now. Let's see if Alex can keep up with these graphics. Luke Cooper, Rob Graham, Max Wright, Dan Hunt, Benjamin Mears, Anthony Mott, Kip Cooper, Charlie Summers, Jamie Ayres, Jack Ashton, Jason Cooper, Adam McNally, Brian Holmes, Jack McIntyre, Simon De Castro, Craig Williams, Craig Evans, Cesare Rizzo, and Anthony Mott. And they're away before I even got rid of that. Down to the first corner then, it's going to be Delmont leading the way, Mikel Garcia on the left-hand side. The cars look a lot brighter now, obviously the lighting has changed to a sort of mid-afternoon glow. And it seems nice and tidy around the first corner. Adam Delmont's got a little bit further without contact than he did in the first race. Doesn't seem like there's much shenanigans further down the field. There's a couple of 2 wide, maybe 3 wide action as they go down the crane and curb zone, but everyone seems to have done it quite nicely. Makes a change. And they just filter their way down. You can see it just gradually getting to single file as they're on the brakes. Can't see any contact. Jerome Ersom's little number on the timing tower on the left there went red for a second, meaning that he's either gone off the track or made contact with somebody. But it seems so far, Alex, like a bit of a tame start for these guys.
Good start, yeah. It's what we want. It makes for better racing throughout the rest of the race. So, someone's dropping down the order. Yeah, like you said, Giddings. You can just see the thing. I think Brian Holmes also involved in it because he's dropped. I thought he was dropping down. He gained some places, but
is that Jason Cooper?
There's some slowdowns going on there as well. Oh, they're killers, aren't they? On the first lap, you just do not want them. You know.
Especially on that straight as well.
Go. Yeah, they take forever to go on the first lap. And, someone's around. That was Carl Yekolet around in the background. He made contact with basically a slow car through the middle of the chicane. And, just sent him into a spin, unfortunately. So, not a bad first lap, but still a couple of little things.
Yeah, there's always going to be the odd little incident, I suppose. It's just we want to avoid those big accidents that take out a number of the field. And obviously, there's any sort of championship contenders as well, of course, as we see the number 28 car, Ashley Beard, getting a little bit sideways there, the Youth Energy car. Through the old hairpin. Look at that gaggle behind these. Like, absolutely mental how many cars they're trying to get through. Oh, McDonald's out of shape going up the hill. Just about gets together. Oh, one of the Auto McNock Hill cars has just gone flying off the track in the background. Not quite sure who that was. He just sort of, well, it didn't turn left. Oh, no!
Out of nowhere.
Oh. RKO there by the number 675 car. That was Mick Barry. And he hits McDonald out of McLean's. Oh, as he joins on, nearly hitting more cars as well. Just being really careful out there. Peter Van Gool then 4th place at the moment. He's got his teammate Nick McCarron right behind. And it's Ashley Beard in front of them, getting way too much curb out the last corner. And surely you've got to think that Van Gool's going to have the run on him down the straight then into the first corner. That is Redgate.
Indeed. And of course, there's been a slight alteration to our battle box on the right-hand side, where it used to be just what the intervals were from the person at the front of that group. Now, of course, it works much more like a relative, so you can see the negative, positive figures and things like that behind. So, yeah, if you're wondering what's going on there, that's what's changed.
And side by side through the craners, Nathan Davis trying to get involved in Ashley Beard's race. Just pulls out of it there. Oh, Mikael Garcia was quite wide. And Davies has got a really good run out of the old hairpin, actually. Still side by side with Beard as they go up the hill. McCarron's going to be watching this, rubbing his hands together. Just keeping it nice and tidy between the two of them. Not quite got an overlap, though. Oh, McCarron seemed late on the brakes there. He was really quick. He got it stopped, though. And, oh, Mikael Garcia's off, and so is Beard. They both hold on to it. You can see the lovely holes in the grass now. The groundsman's not going to be happy with Mikael Garcia. He's wide again. Oh, he just catches that rear wheel on the grass on the outside. That could have been a race-ending spin there. That could have punctured him off anywhere. You just see a couple of moves going on in the background as well. I believe that's Dan Hunt fighting with McDonald for the last spot in the top 10.
Missed the apex somewhat there, did Van Gool, but
yeah,
managed to sort of collect it back up okay. But yeah, Davis on Garcia now, straight through, got much, much better chicane in there. Absolutely nailed it. And then you've got Beard having a look up the inside of Garcia. I think that's going to be done.
Nice little scrap between these bunch. And near the front of the field as well, which is obviously quite important in terms of points. I believe that the interval between how many points you get for your position is a lot stronger towards the beginning of the field. But it seems like it's going nicely for Delmont at the moment. Doing a really good job. And Van Gool is going to be trying to chase him down. There's a couple of cars, as you can see on the timing tower on the left there. They do highlight red when they go off or make contact, and a couple of them subject to that. Look at that, Davis and Van Gool, 9 and 8 places respectively between the two of them then. And even further down, Cooper's up 15, Ashton 17, Holmes 17, Cooper 14, and just massive efforts. Dan Hunt, not to forget as well, he's into the top 10. Now he's up to 9th place ahead of Jones. Really, really good job as always by Dan Hunt, showing his pace. But once again, we're treated to sort of a lot of battles. There's a massive train of cars just coming down the straight in the background. Look at that. Yeah, that one. Cooper is just breaking away from that. But this at this point is Rob Gray and Brian Holmes, Jason Cooper, Carl Hardy, Summers, Scott Malcolm as well. They're all mounting the curbs, really close to one another, and somehow not making contact. McIntyre in there as well. Now that's 4 wide down the straight, if I'm not blind. And, well, I think Jamie Ayres has just got ahead of Scott Malcolm, so it becomes 3 wide. And, yeah, the 2 Momo cars have actually benefited from that. And Jamie Ayres then down the inside of his teammate into turn 1. Oh, just in front of him there, a bit of contact with Carl Hardy and Charlie Summers. This is good little battle track.
Getting their elbows out this race by the looks of it.
And the higher track temperatures may make the car a little bit more unpredictable as well, maybe a bit more slippery. Obviously, they had cooler temperatures in race 1, so the car a little bit more grippy. Oh, as Hardy is on the grass there. You want to be careful even in a straight line on the grass in this car, because if it just catches one little bit that unsettles the rear end, you can spin them up and the car will just pirouette around on the grass. But both the Momo cars go past him, then that's Ayres leading McIntyre.
McIntyre obviously got into the back of someone because he's got a pretty hard hit on the front there, so doesn't seem to affect him a little bit. Might be slightly bit slower in a straight line. Mick Barry around one-way ticket there. Don't quite know what that was. Let's have a very, very quick look. Oh, look at them all off in the background there as well. So the black stuff, mate. Guys, come on. The black stuff. That's what we race on, not the green.
Oh, no.
This is not rallycross. Oh, well, yeah.
Just lost it on the way in, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's easy to do, though, because you are turning left to go into a right-hander on the brakes, and you can just shift the weight too hard over when you lean on it, and a little bit too much of a jab.
Look at that. Brian Holmes, fastest lap of the race. 1 minute 18.102, all the way down in 14th place as he's coming through the field. Up 20 places so far. That's not.
Absolutely frying. Well, I hope he's not frying. I know the track probably is, but he's flying at the moment. Just ahead of him then, it's Stevens and Ashton having a good battle there. Stevens being the beneficiary of that, and well, look at Brian closing up on him. You've got to think how long this is going to take. He might get it done before McLean's here. Through the middle, son. He's not quite going to go for that. We know he's quick, but he's not stupid. Although some people probably would go for that, I'm pretty sure. Then they'd just use the excuse that Ayrton Senna once said something about not going for a gap. As they come up to Coppice then. Still side by side, though. Stevens and Ashton. Holmes, is he going to make it 3 wide down the straight, do you reckon? Or there's a car off on the right.
Well, he has to duck out of it because unfortunately they're all going to pass the Youth Energy car, which was that lap down? It might be a lap down.
I think maybe, yeah. I think it's David Ayres. It's not David Ayres, is it? The result clothing car. I think. Oh, I'm trying to see who that is now. It's further down. No, it is actually Craig Jones. That was for position. That one. It's number 43. Craig Jones with the yellow highlights. That one. I was thinking then David Ayres. I think has got red highlights on his car. I was just trying to get a glimpse of the number. You can just see it there, number 43. And just there, they were leaning on each other, Stevens and Holmes. But Holmes has managed to get it done. And well, you got to think what's going to stop him now. Really, he's 23 places gained. What a performance so far by Brian Holmes. And what a performance by this guy as well. Nathan Davis up 10 places. Peter Van Gool up 7. Nathan's on a charge. Blending in with the grass a little bit at that point.
Yeah.
But he's chasing down Delmont, who was on pole. And so far leading the race still. Lap 7 out of 12. Of course, the second, third and fourth races of the evening are based on laps. They do the first race as just a 15-minute race. See how many laps it takes and then just measure it out from there. Nice little system to make sure that it just works on the night. But you can see the very bright green highlights of Delmont then still in the way. Nathan Davis in the green machine chasing him down with Peter Van Gool. He's obviously going to try and stick with him with the slight slipstream they get around here. Oh, Mikel Garcia out of shape in the background. Delmont moving around a bit on the straight as well to try and break the slipstream wherever he can.
4 laps to hold on to, so slowly reeling him back in. Gap has come down to under 1 second for the first time in probably, well, since lap 1, I think. So, yeah. He's going to have to defend this one, I think, if he's going to win it.
Certainly is. You can see on the track map there as well, just once again, just like in race 1, the field hasn't spread out a massive amount. We've got good battles all the way through. Consistent gaps from everybody. Dan Hunt up 17 places into 7th. He's chasing down Garcia at the moment. McCarron's still in 5th from 3rd on the grid. Ashley Beard stayed where he started, 4th currently. But yeah, you can visually see the gap coming down now for this lead battle. Delmont will just be keeping his calm. He's had a couple of wins, I think, so far this year in the BSR MX5 series. The Youth Energy boys, I think, have had a good few between them. Had quite a good bit of success. over these mini seasons. Yeah, this is looking promising for Nathan Davis now. You can see he's got the pace, but Van Gool's got the pace to match him as well. He's going with him. And they're not going to make it easy for Delmont. He's going to want to make up for that first race as well, where he had an incident, obviously finished almost a lap down. I think he was the only, the last car that wasn't quite a lap down in the first race.
Now that's what Delmont must not do. He must not defend thin air, and he's literally opened the door straight away for Davis, just up and under. Thank you very much. Like candy from a baby.
Yeah, he made it look very easy. And Nathan Davis now inherits the race lead. Peter Van Gool's going to want to replicate that, because I think he's thinking at this point, I can probably grab a win here if I chase Nathan down enough. But it may be interesting to see if Adam Delmont has a sort of symptom of what I get with iRacing, is where if I'm on my own at the front, I've got no pace at all, but as soon as I'm following someone and you can sort of measure their inputs and their sort of break-in and their lines, I actually sort of just match that and become a bit quicker because I know that I'm chasing someone. So we'll see whether it brings that out in Delmont.
I'm with you. I'm exactly the same. I'll run 2 to 3 tenths of a second. Oh, no! Dear! Just got on the grass on the way out. Boom, around Davis. No contact from the others. That's going to leave Van Gool and Delmont to battle it out for the win now. But yeah, just to finish my point, I'm exactly the same. When I'm chasing someone down, you know, there's an extra quarter of a second lap that can be found because get the bit between my teeth and just hunt them down. But when I've got someone coming behind, it's just so difficult. You just keep looking at that relative, and you know there's another 2 tenths in you, and it's just like, ah, God, mine's right, you know, and you just keep messing up. So, but yeah, I think you just got to turn that stuff off and just kind of do your own thing. But it's just so easy just to look at them and just lose focus just for a second.
Yeah, it's the beauty of how sort of close this comes to real racing as well for everyone on the service. You do feel that pressure, and you do feel the excitement and the nerves, and you get all the sensations you would in real racing. And it's great that it is so competitive. I mean, you see these guys, and we made a point last night when Alex and I covered the Ritmotech World Challenge with Adam Bath, and we were saying about the fact that some of the field were like 3-figure I ratings. If you're not aware of I rating, it's basically how good you are in terms of a performance. It's just like a measurable number with how quick you are, essentially. Obviously, it depends on who you go up against and what races you're in, but it can go anywhere from, I don't quite know if there is a minimum, but it goes up to, well, I think time of Jeski's over 10,000 at the moment. But
the minimum is 0, isn't it? I don't know if you can actually hit negative. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one under 500, I don't think.
I've seen someone on about 20, I think.
Oh, wow, fair play. Yeah. That's an achievement in itself, I think. But yeah, even in a league like this, I mean, if we had the I ratings available to us, you'd see that there's a massive spread between these guys, and you only get that from doing the official iRacing races, of which there are many. But some guys just like to stick in leagues like these guys do, because you race the same people in and out every day. Well, not every day, but obviously every race meeting that you do. And it builds up a good community, but it does level out the talent. Oh, Van Gool getting really close to the rear quarter of Delmont there, going down the crane as Delmont's defending for his life right now. But Van Gool doesn't quite look as racy as Davis was. I think he might just be playing a bit of mind games, just seeing where he is quicker than Delmont to sort of line him up for this last lap, Alex. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. I think he just, like you say, he just needs to judge where's going to be the best place to go for this move. And actually, it looks like he's going now.
Yeah, what about that?
Yeah, that surprises me. I'd have thought he would have got a chance of getting literally jumped straight back here. I think Delmont needs to attack straight away here. He needs to get through.
Yeah, he's got to just keep it pinned, go for it into the chicane. Who's going to be later on the brakes? Oh, it's Delmont by a long shot as well. And he gets it done.
Good.
Nicely played. Not too much curb either as well. He really executed that just brilliantly. Can't even get my words out for it. Well, on to the final lap then. Van Gool's going to be looking for everything he can. He's going to go out wide into turn 1 and try and get a sort of cutback here, because you can see Delmont sticking to the inside.
So he's done that again, and he's defended far too much on the inside. He had a much better run there. He wasn't going to get overtaken, kind of defending again, thin air, and just allowed Van Gool to have a much better exit down here. It's very difficult to see the visual closing rate in these MX-5s, but trust me, he's carrying a couple of Ks extra out of that corner with that wider line. He had an opportunity to have a little look into old hairpin. Again, Delmont just covering a little bit on the inside and compromising his exit all the time. Van Gool got a much better line here. Through McLean's, he's going to have the inside now. That's surely going to be his best opportunity to get the move done. He just needs to hold it through Coppice and down that back straight. But maybe Delmont trying to switch back for Coppice, slide it in there and see if you can make it stick. He does exactly that. Got a car that's got no bonnet and damage there. They're going to have to literally battle it off. Delmont sticking to the white line. In this case, you absolutely need to do that.
Yeah, he's defending, and into the final corner we go. Delmont on the inside in the white and blue and green car, and he seems to have done it. Just got to see what his run's like on the exit. Yeah, Van Gool's... Oh, big drift from Van Gool there to round it off, but Delmont's going to take the win in race 2 tonight. Van Gool second and Beard third. Second race running, 2 Youth Energy cars on the podium. They're going to be very happy with that as McCarran crosses the line 4th. Dan Hunt gains 19 places, finished 5th. But Brian Holmes, look at that lot there coming across the line. Brian Holmes, though, 27 positions gains, finished 6th. What a drive that is. I'm certainly very proud of him for that. And I'm sure the Youth Energy guys will be as well. Just behind them, then you have Mikael Garcia, Kip Stevens, Nathan Davis, Charlie Summers, Jack McIntyre, Jack Ashton, Jerome Ursom.
Someone came in on the pits on the last lap.
Yeah, just having a quick look. That was Joe McDonald that came in, actually. Not sure whether he might
Oh, this is tasty. This is going to be Chipolewski. Surely he's going to get the run here. And he's already through, actually, on Simone there.
A little wobble on the exit there. A good avoidance by Chepolewski to get out of that. But once again, we've had another frantic race with a lot of overtaking and good battling as well. Real shame for Nathan Davis, though, to chuck it away. As soon as he put in so much effort to get to the lead, and as soon as he was there, off he goes. I think the car probably wanted to merge with other green things as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, he made the overtake look easy for the lead, to be honest. Very, very calculated move. Just sort of sucking Adam into it. But, yeah, fortunately, Adam learnt from that. Didn't make that same mistake again for the rest of the race and then had to battle hard. It was a good last lap. And, yeah, just Van Gogh just didn't quite get the line he wanted through the chicane to maybe have a run. Delmont nailed it from the inside there, which is not always easy when you're tucked up to the right, knowing that you're going into a right-hander. So, yeah, to get your break-in point spot on like that, absolutely top job, and yeah, deserving of that win.
Yeah, like you say, you do sort of compromise your line a lot by defending, and the sort of the advantage of attacking is that you can sort of force people into doing that, and then you can line up the line that you want and go from there. But there you see it. Adam Delmont does come out on top, winning the race by 0.3 of a second from Peter Van Gool and Ashley Beard for Youth Energy. I believe it's his first meeting for them tonight, so great effort by Ashley to get on the podium for tonight. Nick McCarran is 4th for Momo with Dan Hunt in 5th. Brian Holmes is 6th, another great performance by Youth Energy, getting 3 cars in the top 6 again. Mikael Garcia is 7th with Kip Stevens in 8th, Nathan Davis 9th, Charlie Summers rounding out your top 10. Shout out to Mikael Garcia as well, actually, for winning the AM category on that one. Jack McIntyre is 11th, Jack Ashton is 12th, and Jeroen Ursom is in 13th, second place in AM. Jamie Ayres is 14th, and Tyler Lugo Vickery rounds out the AM podium for that race, with Craig Jones 16th, Rob Graham 17th, and Carl Hardy in 18th position there for Result Clothing. You've then got Benjamin Mears of the Automac Knock Hill team, Luke Cooper 20th, Scott Malcolm 21st, Cesare Rizzo in at 22nd, with Craig Evans 23rd, Steve Hefford at 24th, Jordan Giddings 25th, Max Wright in 26th, with Thomas McDonald in 27th place. 28th is Chepolewski. We just saw him get ahead of Simone Nicastro on the line. Craig Williams lines up 30th. Sorry, rounds out the top 30. I apologise. It's not a grid. Carl Jacquelet is 31st. Peter Knowles 32nd. Joe McDonald, who we just saw come in the pits then, is actually 33rd, with Mikey Key 34th. Anthony Mott is 35th. Jason Cooper 36th, Adam McNally 37th, Mick Barry 38th, and rounding out the field is David Ayres in 39th position.
Right, much on that. So, the wheel up on the screen. Give that a spin. Lost me marbles for a second, trying to find what I'm doing. Here we go.
It happens to the best of us on broadcast.
It's there. It's all there somewhere. It's just hidden out the way. I was like, where is that? Right. Of course, it wasn't 50th, was it, when we left it? So somewhere along the line, it's ticked in the background. Someone will be calling a rig. That's for sure. Right. Let's give it a spin again. Who are we looking at this time? Who's the one lap down drivers? Looks like Anthony Mott, is it? 35th?
Yeah, Anthony Mott, Michael Key, Joe McDonald. They're the top 3 in that one.
Here we go then. 45th, maybe not. 30th.
Okay, so that is going to be Craig Williams on pole position, with Simone Nicastro second. And that puts him on the front row after just missing out to Selian Shepelevsky. But Shepelevsky's going to be third on the grid, and you've got to think that he's going to be the favourite for this one from those starting three. Thomas McDonnell is fourth, with Max Wright fifth. So it should be an interesting third race of the day. Still two more to go. You're watching the iRacing Esports Network and Apex Racing TV. I'm Chas Draycott with Alex Simpson, and we will be back with you in about 10 to 15 minutes. Don't go away. Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network. Welcome back to Apex Racing TV. I'm Chas Draycott with Alex Simpson, and we are at Donington Park for the third race out of 4 this evening for the BSR MX5 Cup. The temperatures, as you can see, not as high as they were in race 2 of the evening, so I think some of the drivers will be quite grateful for that. We've got Craig Williams on pole position from Simon Nicastro, Stelian Chepelevsky, who we've got to say is probably the favourite for this race. Thomas McDonald 4th on the grid, Max Wright 5th, Jordan Giddings 6th, Steve Hefford 7th, Craig Evans 8th, Cesare Rizzo 9th, and Scott Malcolm rounds out your top 10. We've seen 2 really feisty races so far tonight, Alex. A couple of little incidents here and there, but really good battling, so hopefully this second reverse grid of the night will throw up the same thing. Yeah,
I'm hoping for the same. I mean, it has been so far 2 good races. Let's make it a third. Yeah, set us up nicely for the final race of the evening.
The lights are about to come on then. The revs will rise with them. You can see 3 of the Northern Lights racing cars on the one side of the grid, and the lights are out very quickly indeed. They weren't held for very long, and it's a really good start for Chepelevsky, and it looks like Williams has had an issue. He's dropped right down. Nicastro takes the lead then. He's got Chepelevsky right on him. Going into turn 1, it was nearly 3 wide. Oh no, that's the number 77 car of Thomas McDonald around. He made contact with Max Wright, and there's a big one. A lot of cars around. Some people filtering through. There's still contact being made. You can see them all just getting away now down towards the crane. Is not really sure. I think it was Max Wright. Oh no, and that's Mikel Garcia went completely over there. I think he made more contact with Max Wright once again. I think Max was the original instigator in that, making contact with the number 77 car. And yeah, once an incident's happened, though, it is easy to... 3 wide there, actually, going up towards McLean's. That's Charlie Summers on the outside of Giddings and Jones. I was just about to say, once there's a large incident as one of the result clothing cars goes off there, I think that was Carl Hardy. Once an incident's happened and everyone's sort of rejoining and getting going again, they can sort of breed more incidents because people are obviously changing line to avoid cars and obviously what become stationary objects, aren't they?
I think when you have that massive sort of check-up like that and you've got 40 cars all coming through it, it's just unavoidable that there's going to be some sort of aftermath to it as well.
Especially on the first lap.
Exactly. For the most part, a lot of people did check up, but there was a few that didn't and things like that, and it's just, people trying to scramble through.
You do get that.
You got to defend. You got to defend their mindsets out there, really, as well. A lot of people go, "Oh, come on, you can't do this on the first lap" and things like that. But realistically, it's a 12-lap race. That's the prime opportunity to make a whole bunch of places. This is what the series is all about. It's sprint racing, making as many spots as possible, going for moves straight away rather than holding back and things like that. So, if you wonder what's going on out there, that's kind of why this isn't an endurance race. It's not a 45-minute race where you can make up the time later by taking it easy. You've got 12 laps to get as many positions as you possibly can, and constantly reversing the grids around so they're all jumbled up and everything. So drivers got to go for these things.
It's not like it's an hour-long GT race where someone launches an Audi down the inside and causes a massive accident, and it's like, what are you doing? But we see then Chepelevsky leading the way. He's not got away from Williams, though. We've seen Craig Williams before. He's a really quick driver. He has his own setup shop for racing, although... something's
in the pits.
Yeah.
Is he in the pits? Can't actually see him appear. No,
slow down. Yeah. It must have been pretty...
who's coming out of the pit lane? That could be interesting.
Garcia there,
waiting. Oh, okay. That's going to be a long wait.
It is. Yeah, it is going to be a very long wait. But, I think a bit of an extravagant way of serving the slowdown there. Craig really got on the anchors. But it's a 1-2 for Momo at the moment. And that's Stelian Chepelevsky leading from Steve Hefford. And then Simone Nicastro still in 3rd place with Rizzo and Mears behind them. They're the top 3 AM drivers on track currently. And it's another Momo car of theirs, and then another one of McIntyre. So, as I said at the start of the broadcast, these guys have been very dominant, very quick all season, and this night is no different. They had obviously a bit of bad luck at the first one. Oh, Nicastro's around. I'm not sure whether there was contact there with Rizzo. They were quite close together, but I think it might have just been on the brakes that he got loose. It's easy to do there.
Sort of saved it, didn't he? But it wasn't McIntyre-esque, but still reasonable car control to keep that from going completely around.
Yeah, sometimes it's just best to just sort of let off the throttle and just steer into it. And eventually, when the momentum washes off, the car will straighten up. But
snap back the other way.
well, that's it. Yeah, if you've got too much lock on, it will spit you out the other end. You've got to be careful
Got to
with
be
it.
ready for that, haven't you? Always. That death wiggle, that'll always get you.
It will, and especially in a car like this. I say this on every single MX5 broadcast, but these things are a bit wobbly in terms of the suspension and everything. You can see them diving down on the nose on the brakes. You get a good bit of body roll as well. So if you do get it wiggling, the weight transfer is pretty catastrophic if you're into an incident. But really good battle here between Mears, and Williams is alongside him now, trying to make positions back up. They've got Summers just ahead of them as well. He's just gained another place. Himself and McIntyre are up 15 places already. So they've obviously benefited from that first lap as Mears takes a lovely little scenic route through the countryside, and Williams is now up to 7th. Rizzo, highest placed AM driver, is now 3rd, but as we look at Delmont and Van Gool having a good fight further down the order. Delmont obviously race 2 winner this evening. Hasn't managed to get many places yet, but he's got quite a damaged car at the front end, so I think he must have been caught up in the lap 1 shenanigans. Through McLean still side by side. We've got Nick McCarron, and his teammate Tyler Lugo Vickery is also in there as well. So it's 2 Youth Energy cars and 2 Momo cars, as we see very often.
That was McCarron getting just tagged from behind. I wasn't sure which one of the Youth Energy drivers did it, but it certainly was one of them. And yeah, McCarron keeping the car under some sort of control there, and was able to avoid losing it completely through copping.
Might have been that pesky Scotsman Adam McNally going for it, always attacking. As we see McIntyre and Ayres just making really good progress forward. Then they've got Rizzo who's going out to the left, just getting out of the way essentially, and that means. Sorry,
I don't know why it is, right? And this is completely non-racing related, and I should focus on what's going on screen right now because there's some good battles going on out there. But just because you've mentioned McNally and the best Scotsman around, I actually have got visions of, you know, the old Iron Brew adverts with the young English lad and the old Scottish dad, you know, when the girlfriend goes, "Oh, this is my boyfriend," he comes around and he's got his bulldog, like, you know, "Here's my dog, he's called Wembley," and things like that. That is what I've got in my head of Adam McNally now. Best Scotsman around. Just actually, he's just there trolling some Scotsman's dad there, you know.
Just for the record,
I do not know why it got in my head, but yeah, I needed to get that out. So I'm gonna have to find that YouTube clip now because they were some funny adverts. They were. And
really
yeah,
were.
what is with this Iron Brew diet rubbish that we've got these days? Come on, bring it back.
No.
Even I'm a fan of the original stuff.
It's literally sugar with orange colour with orange food dye in it. It is the original recipe is the best, as they always say. Jack McIntyre then, well, he's got Summers down the inside of Ayres now. McIntyre goes for the move in turn 1. He opens the door for the Swift Cooper Esports car. And just for the record as well, Adam McNally is a Geordie. If you heard his accent, you would never doubt that.
Yeah.
And down the Craners then, McIntyre ahead of Ayres, still really close together, but these boys will be communicating over the team radio, explaining exactly what they want to do. And they have, oh no, Williams gets into the side of Rizzo, he loses it, beautiful double pirouette, and I think Mears has clipped him. That's broken the front end. That has gone way into the wall. That was a big hit for Mears.
Hard hit, yeah.
That's probably one of the most sort of well simulated sort of breakages on a car I've actually seen in iRacing for a while. Like, it literally just straight lined, didn't it? As soon as he made contact, it was as if the tyre had gone and yeah, just went completely straight on. Oh, there was contact actually coming out of the hairpin. Beautiful pirouette, but look at Mears, just straight on. Off he goes. They eventually got it all back together, but they're further down the order now, of course. And down the inside of Ayres, there is Summers in another one of those remote control car liveries. Ayres, showing that the car control is not just the Jack McIntyre thing. It's a Momo 1, 2, 3, 4 as well at the moment, we must make you aware. Summers down the inside again. This is a great scrap between these two. He's just got it done. Nicely played. Ayres is going to try and get the cutback though as they go down the Craners. 5 laps to go after this one. And it looks like he's actually got the overlap. He's got it done. Hopefully they don't make contact, because that's going to be a disaster down there. Summers taking all of the curb, but Ayres is on the inside for the old hairpin. They both get turned in together. Oh, he's washing out wide slightly. Oh, really, really on the limit stuff. I think there was a tiny touch, but it only seemed to affect Jamie Ayres a little bit there. But really, really good racing. That's a prime example of just how well you can sort of battle these cars close together.
But a little bit of on the chat from Josh saying you should go and sign some Iron Brew sponsorship. So, we keep talking about it anymore. They're going to be, they're going to flag it up on their YouTube, and hopefully they'll approach iRacing because there's sponsorship going on there. Need some WCS sponsors. I think
he might be referring as well to the fact that the Thrust Vector have signed 2 drivers in the space of a week and the sponsorships. Everyone's thinking that we're going to be hoovering up the drivers market, to quote Anwar Smith on Facebook earlier. But anyway, away from our politics, you've got Jack Ashton chasing down the green machine of Nathan Davis. It's number 98, number 88, and then you've got the number 108 behind them of Simone Nicastro. Nice little symmetry. Oh, sorry, it isn't 108, it's 106. I apologise. That's I've let myself down a little bit there. But down the craters, it looks like Jack Ashton is really on a mission. Closing onto the back of Davis, he's putting him under pressure. This is really, really... you can just see him focusing on the back of that car. He's just trying to get every little bit of slipstream he can, even if you're going up through that section. Oh, Davis looked like he was getting out of shape there into McLean's. Really, really scary stuff. They're both off completely. Churning up the dirt and the grass on the outside. And as they go through Coppers, it's actually a really difficult corner to get right in the MX5, I found the other night, because as you go over, the weight just lifts from the car because of that crest, and obviously with it being a rear-wheel drive machine, you don't want to get your foot down too early in case it just over-rotates.
Yeah, indeed. Very easy. Very easy done. What's going on at the front? All of a sudden, Hefford having a look at his teammate. Put Cheppy as favourite to win this one, but of course we didn't anticipate Hefford, there as well. Of course, just a few places further down the grid. So these guys both extremely fast. So will they play it out for the result, or will they go at it? It's going to be the question. And Mia's not very happy on the chat as well. So it wasn't. Yeah. I'm not surprised. He was the innocent victim in that crash there. They were battling hard, and poor Benjamin, he just got collected, didn't he? So, massive damage. So I'm not surprised, and justified, I think.
And as well, in an incident like that, it can come as a big shock to you, because you're doing such a speed, and for the car to just start straight lining, and you'll obviously be going at the wheel to see if there is anything you can do. And like I say, at that speed, you're already in the wall at that point, and it is a real shame for it to end that way for him. He was doing a good job. He's up there as well with the guys within the top 10. I'm thinking that Hefford and Cheplewski will fight for this, though, in the last few laps. I've seen the Momo cars do that before, where they'll have a couple of laps.
4.2 gap, you'd think, and it's only the teammate behind them, so you'd think they've got to have a little go, have a little race at it. Once it gets a bit closer, they'll probably just ease up a bit, I think.
Yeah, I think they've done it before, where they've had like a couple of laps that are just a little bit chilled, just sort of following each other around, getting a bit of a gap on everyone, and just working together really well, and then have a bit of fun in the last lap or so. As we look at Williams now, making his way back up after the incident earlier, is with Rizzo as well, who he made contact with. And he makes contact with him again in turn 1.
Sends it straight down the inside. And to be fair move, I think, aggressive, but fair as well. If he didn't use Rizzo as brakes there or anything like that, and as the rules state, if you're alongside, that was nice. As we go in the turning position, you need to be given the room, and that's what Rizzo just didn't quite do there, and that's why there's a bit of contact. So got to drive to the rules. Hopefully it didn't damage him. Look at how much he closed on the brakes there, though. That was amazing. Bit between his teeth after getting that little shove wide. He'll want that position back, that's for sure. Yeah, it was like he was in a different car then when he came up on the brakes. That was just unbelievable. It's like Williams was winching him round the corner. That was mental. They're going to obviously want to chase down Kip Stevens ahead of them in the 11 car, but don't quite think they're going to get that done before the end of the race. So Rizzo down the inside into the chicane, but looking at this then for the podium position, McIntyre getting a nice push down the straight by his teammate Jamie Ayres. Oh, he's actually clipped him on the brakes. That's pushed him wide. Summers is down the inside now. Surely going to take advantage. Oh, shame he couldn't quite get on the power as quickly as he wanted. He could have had both of them there. I think he was just trying to make sure he didn't make contact and watch out wide. Oh, Rizzo's around. We were expecting to see that, let's be honest with you. I had to see what was going on that battle. They were too close on the timing screen. Oh dear. So, well, got finished off, I think, did Rizzo there. So... yeah, I'm not sure whether it was contact or whether he did it himself, but yeah, I don't know whether Craig might have helped him in the last bit there. It just seems like it was already going. I did just lose it, yeah. Yeah. I say when he finished him off, that little touch just finished the spin off, didn't it? More than anything else like that. So yeah.
We had a repeat of that actually in the race last night.
Get a final little replay of what happens. Good move to get there. But I just clipped it. The car just bouncing around. Yeah, so nothing Carl can do really. That's not his fault.
It certainly does happen a lot. And as we come on to the last lap, then McIntyre still ahead of Summers with Ayres behind him. They'll be wanting to get that 1, 2, 3, 4, but a clean sweep of the podium looks pretty certain here. Hopefully, I've not just jinxed that for him. We'll see Summers on an absolute charge now on this final lap. But it is Hefford in the lead. Actually, he's got past Cheplevsky. Not sure where he would have done that, but whether it was a team orders scenario, or whether he's actually done it, because he's actually gapped Cheplevsky quite a bit there. So he might have just let him through for the championship points. Obviously, Steve is up there in the overall championship. Yeah, there it goes. Down the craners, although he's not giving it to him easy, is he?
No,
you would have thought if he's going to let him through, he'd do it before that. That's quite scary. Steve down the inside, though. Yeah, nicely done.
Back to live.
He is actually leading the overall championship as well at the moment, is Steve Hefford. So obviously they're thinking of the championship. As we see, Summers still trying to get past McIntyre. Ayres just quite can't get with them there. And looking down the order as well, I'm just having a quick think about the reverse grid for this last race, and it's quite a lot of quick guys that are in the sort of mid-20s in terms of position. So it'll be interesting to see how this last one is, if it's a smaller one. But Steve Hefford, he's going to be very happy with that result. Oh, a bit sketchy out the last chicane as well. Gets a lot of curb. He comes across the line to lead home, at least for now. A 1-2 for Momo ahead of Stelian Cheplevsky. And it's going to be Jack McIntyre third. And I think Ayres is actually going to grab fourth over the line, is he? He doesn't quite do it. Just misses out to Summers there. But yeah, a clean sweep of the podium by Momo once again, as we see Cooper all over the back of Jones out the final corner, and just coming into shot there. Actually, it's Van Gool. He's going to try and get the place off him. He's done it just before they get to the line. Wasn't quite wreckers or checkers, but he did it. Really good stuff there. That just shows you that tiny little bit of momentum out that last chicane can change so much. And if you anyone that knew about the Kia Club Series when I used to run that, the first season was actually decided over that line by, I think it was something like 800ths of a second. The whole championship was decided by the last corner in the last race. And it may be a short run to the finish, but yeah, it can certainly have a lot bearing on it. Once again, though, an overall fantastic race. I'm sure the Momo team will be very happy with that. Didn't seem so many of the Youth Energy cars up there in that race, though. Obviously, Jack Ashton was 7th, to be fair to him, but the next car's down 15th and 16th. That's Delmont and Holmes. Delmont's still gaining 15 places in that one, though, so done an absolutely fine job there. And hopefully we'll have more of the same in the last race, Alex. It's been a really good night so far.
Yep, 3 good races. A little scruffy, that one, but generally been pretty good. Some great battling.
There are the results then. Steve Hefford wins the race from Stelian Cheplevsky and Jack McIntyre. As we say, nice little podium sweep for them. Charlie Summers ruining the symmetry and not letting them get a 1, 2, 3, 4, with Jamie Ayres in 5th place. Only 5.5 seconds, to be fair, covering the top 5. Nathan Davis brings it home in 6th ahead of Jack Ashton in 7th. Jordan Giddings is 8th. He'll be happy with that after spinning in both the first 2 races this evening. Simone Nicastro is in 9th place with Kip Cooper in 10th. Craig Williams 11th. Craig Jones is 12th. That's second in AM for him. Peter Van Gool is 13th. Jason Cooper 14th. Adam Delmont and Brian Holmes 15th and 16th, with their teammate Ashley Beard behind them in 17th as well. Nick McCarron is in 18th place, with Rizzo eventually finishing in 19th and Carl Jacquelet in 20th position. You've then got Craig Evans 21st, Anthony Mott 22nd, Adam McNally is 23rd, 24th is Carl Hardy, 25th is Luke Cooper, with Joe McDonald, Peter Knowles, Mick Barry, Jeroen Ursum and David Ayres rounding out your top 30. And then the people that were involved, I think, in the first lap incident were Thomas McDonnell, Tyler Luger Vickery, Mikael Garcia was definitely involved in that first lap. We saw him actually go rolling over. Rob Graham 34th, Ben Mears 35th, Mikey Key is 36th, and then the final 3 drivers that were involved in that first incident, I'm sure, Max Wright, Dan Hunt and Scott Malcolm is the 39th classified car in the race. And for the final time tonight, Mr. Alex Simpson will give you the wonderful music of the reverse grid wheel.
I'm ready. Go straight into it. Give it a spin. 30th for the last. Spin. Could be a smaller one. Could be 20th. Certainly not going to make it to -4, -1. No, bang in the middle of the 20th second. So pretty small.
So just 20 on that one then, is it?
Indeed.
Sorry, your voice dropped out a little bit there
Oh,
when we said that's all.
Do you know what? I was covering my mouth because I was like, oh, what's going to go on? Yeah, of course. Come on. Stupid mistake. This is why we need those webcam things so you people can see what's going on. I'm just there going, no.
Oh, there'd be a scary sight seeing my face on a Tuesday night. Carl Jacquelet, 20th on the grid. Not 20th on the grid, 20th in the race. So that will put him on pole position with Rizzo second and McCarron third. So McCarron for the second time tonight, benefiting from a reverse grid. And then it's the 3 youth energy cars, actually, of Beard, Holmes and Delmont. So they'll be hoping to pull out a good result from this one. Myself and Alex will go for a quick 10-minute break while they set the race session up. And we'll be back with you on the iRacing Esports Network in about 10 minutes' time. Don't go away.
Speedway. Would it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary. Up the line.
Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network. Welcome back to Donington Park and the BSR MX5 Autumn Series. I'm Chaz Draycott with Alex Simpson for the fourth and final race of the evening. Cooler conditions, as you can see. A bit more overcast than the other races we've had tonight. Just quickly running through the top 10 of the grid. We've got Carl Jackalette on pole, Cesaro Rizzo second, Nick McCarron third, Ashley Beard fourth. Brian Holmes and Adam Delmont make it a Youth Energy trio, 4th, 5th and 6th on the grid. Jason Cooper is 7th, Peter Van Gool is 8th, Craig Jones 9th, and Craig Williams rounds out your top 10. And Alex, we've seen really good racing so far tonight. Third one, not so clean compared to the other two, so what are your bets on for this one? Do you reckon it'll be clean?
Race 4 typically always a little bit more, elbows out, kind of driving for the guys, so I think, yeah, could be a bit tasty, that's for sure.
The red lights come on then. See if they're held on. No, they're really not held on very long at all tonight at all. Jackalette and Rizzo there off the front row. Rizzo seems to have got the better start. He's probably going to lead it into turn 1. You can see the 3 Youth Energy cars behind them trying to get with Nick McCarron. Down the inside of them as well is actually Jason Cooper with the bright yellow. Oh, there's contact between 2 of the Youth Energy cars there actually. I think it was Beard that got pushed out wide by Brian Holmes. So he's side by side now with McCarron. Down the Craners. Look at the whole field filtering through. So many bright coloured liveries in this series as well. They're all really bold. Good looking set of cars. But it's Rizzo at the moment leading the field with Jackalette second, and Holmes is just really closing on him. You can see up the hill there. He's just making so much ground. He's got a really good run. Oh, there's one of the there's 2 Northern Lights cars on the outside in the background. And there's one of the Youth Energy cars as well. Just having a look, it's Lugo Vickery. Real shame for Tyler. Ashley Beard involved. Jeroen Urson also is down the order. But it is Rizzo at the moment in the 666 machine leading the way. Jackalette there coming under more and more pressure from Brian Holmes. Brian obviously wanting to go for the win in this one. It's his golden opportunity to do it. And them golden wheels on that little MX5 will be turning by the... he's just absolutely made it work on Jackalette just in the blink of an eye. Side by side, that is Van Gool with Cooper. Great save there. Bouncing it over the curb. Oh, there's a car around. It's another Youth Energy car. They're dropping like flies at this rate, Alex. They're just going off all over the place.
Yeah, Ashton with the problem, unfortunately. Just didn't get it quite nice through the chicane, and that's what can happen.
Gradually rejoining then and making the positions back. We've got Anthony Ainsworth in the chat asking how you go about getting into these MX5 races. If you're not familiar with the service, you need to have a subscription to iRacing, and if you go to the bsrhub.com, just put just a brief URL in the chat for you. You can sign up to these series. The organisers are very happy with large grids, and if you do get a lot of practice in the MX5, if you haven't driven it before, then yeah, you'll be on track with these axe wielding murderers, as we call them. They're just so frantic in terms of the racing. It's brilliant to watch. We enjoy it every Thursday and every Tuesday. I can't even get the day of the week right anymore. But Brian Holmes is chasing down Rizzo for the lead. You can see him in the background, nearly 3 wide coming out of there. Craig Williams is trying to make up some ground as well after losing places in race 1. Holmes is already down the inside of Rizzo. Rizzo's not giving it up easy. Oh, Brian flinging it over the curves.
Have it.
That was Red Bull X-Riders style there over the curb. But he's got the lead either way. I'm surprised he didn't actually get a slowdown for that as well. We would have thought that he'd get one of the slowdown penalties you do get on iRacing if you do cut the curb too much. McIntyre fastest lap of the race, 1:16.4. Cars either side of him done 1:18.1s and 1:18.4s. That's just unbelievable pace to be midfield. Oh, I thought one of the result clothing cars is around there. It's Craig Jones who's going down the timing screen. Not sure whether it was contact that did it. Oh, on the outside.
Yeah, where is Craig? Because I can't.
Oh, there he is.
Click on him. Yeah. So all of a sudden, it's just on the inside. So yeah.
Enter stage right. Craig Jones there. As Van Gool just popping out from behind Williams there to make a move up to McLean's. Side by side, slightly leaning on each other maybe. 2 wide around there. Oh,
death wiggle and gone.
Absolute tank slapper by Jackalette there. Enter stage right, Craig Jones. Exit stage right, Jackalette. He's off and into the wall. And Van Gool there has Ayres and Chepelevsky behind him. Chepelevsky must have gained a good few places by now.
Still in up 10 already.
Yeah. Luke Cooper not far behind them, 13 places. But Dan Hunt, biggest mover so far, 17 places gained. He's still down in 20th though, but yeah, he's stayed out of trouble for these first few laps and it's worked for him. Oh, as Van Gool is out of shape. Keeps hold of it though. Looks like Williams might have got a bad run out of there as well. And it's Jason Cooper, fastest lap of the race, 1:16.2. A lot of guys still setting personal bests as they get quicker and quicker as the race goes on. Obviously, these battles separating out a little bit, so people can, well, basically just get their foot down, try and make ground. And it looks like Holmes hasn't really got rid of Rizzo at the front. Big slide through the old hairpin as well. That's not going to help him.
And actually, Delmont's catching them both up as well. So as they're battling, so yep, maybe a potential for a second victory for Rizzo.
Oh.
I don't know what he was doing. I think he was just too busy looking at what Holmes was doing and completely lost where he was on the circuit. He drove off onto the grass, tried to brake. Race car says no.
Yeah, he's parked it. Another exit stage right. Oh, there sounded like there was contact there, actually, further back. I think Mick Barry's going flying down the timing screen.
Oh, look at that shot. Look at him coming out of that corner. I mean, that's just crazy. Great little gaggle. How many cars we got there? About 10 cars there.
Yeah, you got Chepelevsky. You've got, it's contact between teammates. That's Van Gool. And then Williams gets into the back of him. Van Gool's around another exit stage, right? He's off. Stretch the right-hand side of the screen at this point. I hope you've got one of them wide BenQ monitors on at the moment, Alex. 3 wide between the Momo cars, even 4 wide, including the Swift Cooper Esports cars. That's McIntyre, Hefford, Chepelevsky, Cooper, Summers, Stevens, McNally, and Nicastro in there as well. Somehow, well, I was going to say they've not made contact, but we don't know yet. Look at McIntyre still sideways out of there. Unbelievable stuff by these guys. How they made it all around Redgate without making contact. Davis is at the front of this with Luke Cooper and McNally side by side behind him then. We'll have to stick with this battle for a few laps, see how this unfolds. Down the inside there, McNally on Luke Cooper. Doesn't quite have the overlap. There's contact between Summers and I think Nicastro there. 3 wide. And Stevens is into him. Nicastro's going to hit Hefford. And then is he going to come back across to the right? He's not. Hefford somehow still pointing the right way. I think that Nicastro is going to go in. Williams is having a bit of a grass tracking moment as well. But I thought Nicastro was going to catch the rear quarter of Hefford there, so I'm not sure whether he hit him and he just saved it or whether he got out of it or what. But yeah, that was an absolute miracle for Steve Hefford there. He's still going. It's only 14th, and you would have thought he'd be higher up the order than that. But this battle, so many cars involved that you just lose track of whereabouts you are in the race. It's side by side, Chepelevsky and Summers. Summers down the inside takes a good amount of curb, and you can see Chepelevsky's run compromise there. Look at McIntyre straight through. Good thing the teammates, because that would have been nicely communicated over the radio. And Holmes has just put in his personal best of the race. A couple of other drivers doing that as well there. Nathan Davis and Adam McNally. McIntyre and Giddings as well, also doing personal best so far. And breathe for just a moment as they eventually go single file down the craners then. 3 Momo cars. They've got Dan Hunt behind them there. As we look at McNally, still putting the pressure on Luke Cooper. Williams, you can see the little numbers on the left of your screen going red when cars have either an off track or whether they make contact with another. And obviously the little stripes as well, and the dots on the mini-map that you can see there. Blue for the pro drivers, green for the AM, and McNally's down the inside of Cooper. He's got all 4 wheels off. The whole bunch of them go off in the background there.
The mini-map just went red for that little section there. So dear.
Not needed. I think,
Told you, race 4, always the way. It just gets very, very feisty. I mean, really how can it not be when there's this many cars in such close proximity? But yeah, people just giving no quarter in this final race. They want to try and get maximum points, maximum places.
Look at Dan
All
Hunt.
goes out the window.
Hunt going through the middle of them two there. Brilliant stuff. And Anthony that's watching at the moment in the chat, this is what you're letting yourself in for, mate, if you do join in. But I can guarantee you it's a hell of a lot of fun. These guys really do make a good, well, it's a great watch. It always is. We really enjoy commentating on it. And
you have to take it for what it is, yeah. And what that is 4 sprint races. You know, it's 12 laps. You're trying to move as far forward as possible. Do not join this expecting to have, you know, ultra patient, clean racing out there. It just doesn't happen. You've got to move. You've got to go for your positions as fast as possible. And yeah, you need to be aggressive, but try and be as safe as possible. So yeah, just expect some door rubbing. If you're au fait with that, this is a lot of fun.
I think Anthony Mott and Jack Ashton. Dan Hunt really out of shape there. Really well held. I think 2 drivers have had issues at the old hairpin. It was Anthony Mott, and I think it might have been Jack Ashton further down the order. Brian Holmes really launching that car over the curb. He's got Delmont actually catching him now as well, with 5 laps to go. And Cooper in 3rd place. Jason Cooper is going to be taking the fight to these guys. There's a car further down off the track as well, actually. You can see it on the map that's just flashing red on the outside. Someone out of McLean's, I think. And Anthony is definitely right. Rubin is racing. And Brian Flanagan there saying it's insane, he'd be freaking out if he was in that pack. And I'm in the same boat as you, Ryan. Honestly, if I was with that many cars on track and in such close proximity, I don't think I'd be able to keep my cool. And that's what some of these drivers have spent a lot of time perfecting, to be fair. I mean, look at this. Even that, I'd lose my mind doing that, where Dan Hunt is now on the inside of the Craners, under a lot of pressure to get it right. McNally on the inside. I think Dan's just going to get it through there. Leaves him plenty of room, though, even though there's not much of an overlap. And they go up towards McLean's then. McNally trying to get down the inside. Oh, no, not again. More contact. Adam's going to be fuming with himself for that. It didn't look like there was much of an overlap. And it was just that tiny little bit of contact that caused it. And you can see Adam there off to the side. He's let Hunt back through. He sort of immediately took himself off the track. He sort of dismissed himself of that. But that's, again, that's the respectful side of it that you do see. We do often find that if drivers get caught up in the incidents, then they do sort of apologise by at least getting out of the way there and then. Anthony saying he'd like to see what it looks like in VR. It's very interesting in VR, actually. It's
who's the driver that streams it in VR? We've got a driver that streams it in VR, haven't we?
Yes. Well, Adam McNally, actually.
Adam McNally, yeah.
Was that a...
McIntyre, I think. No, I think he's okay. I did... Or is he not? Dropping down the order. Is this a disconnect? Or is that a disqualification?
I think it was a disqualification because it was straight after he got bumped from behind.
Showing out on the timing tower as well. That's unfortunate for McIntyre. He had a great meeting up until now.
He did. But yeah, going back to Anthony's point with VR...
Holmes off the circuit as well, so don't quite know what happened to Brian. Let's just get a quick replay of that, because he was in the lead, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
So let's have a look. Here we come.
He was a bit out of shape for the last few laps, actually, coming out of the old hairpin, going left up there.
Oh, a couple of wheels up in the air, and yeah. Oh, saves it. So,
good save.
Got a bit leery. So, yeah, Anthony, Adam Delmont does a stream. If you try and join the Facebook page as well off of that URL that Chaz sent you, I think you should be able to get a link to Adam's stream, and you'll be able to see exactly what it looks like in VR then. There
are another couple as well. Stelian Chapelevsky streams some of his races. He's got a very, very impressive setup, and we mention it pretty much every week. He likes green, that boy. Be warned before you go and have a look. Make sure you change the hue on your monitor before you get there. And yeah, there's a couple of other guys as well. I think Adam McNally, I know, does streams as well for Youth Energy, and Stelian Chapelevsky, of course, but Steve Hefford also does them as well. Apologies if anyone else does it that I've not mentioned, but yeah, there are quite a lot of people that do it. It's always good to see everyone's sort of point of views, and you get to see people's different rigs as well and their different setups and just the difference in pace. Brian Holmes is right back on the money now, fighting with Cooper for the lead once again. He dispatched of his teammate Delmont, and in 4th place, actually that's Anthony Mott, that one, sorry, just behind them on track. Nick McCarron is in the red Momo car in the background. And this is a really tasty scrap then, 2 laps to go after this. Side by side with the 2 Youth Energy cars, and you've got to think Jason Cooper's going to feel under pressure right now, but I bet Anthony Mott's having a good time watching this. He's got a really good front row seat.
Yeah, perfect shot of the lead battle, and yep, all of a sudden Delmont takes up the charge to try and get past Cooper. Cooper trying to hold on to this lead as best as he possibly can. Just turned over to lap 11 of 12, so 2 more laps, including this one, to go. Not long. These races have absolutely flown by, and yeah, Delmont getting out of it, trying not to collect his teammate there.
Yeah, Brian's just on a charge now. He got a really nice overlap out of the last chicane, to be fair, and it was just really well judged. He just instantly turned the car to the left and just narrowly missed hitting the back end of Delmont. As we go on board then with Brian Holmes, you can see that you just chuck it into the old hairpin. You pretty much have the steering wheel straight and the car is still going right. I was trying to do that myself the other night in one of the practice races, and I just didn't find it possible. So it shows the level of car controls that these guys develop when they race it. Again, you can see him just flicking the car in, and he's pretty much turning left as he goes through the corner. It's all about carrying the momentum in the MX5. It's not the most powerful car in the world, but if you know how to keep the momentum and look after it, then it will definitely feed you back with some good lap times. But Cooper's doing a really good job at the moment. He's not actually allowing Holmes to close up too much, Alex. He's probably going to control this until the last lap.
Yeah, it was a great lap, actually. Looked pretty reasonable from Brian. Good exit here. So Brian really needs to put the pressure on now. Going into turn 1, down towards the old hairpin. Maybe try and ruffle him up a little bit just to get him offline, because Cooper looking quite comfortable. Oh, differences in line, slightly earlier entry for Holmes. Quite get the same exit that Cooper had, but the slipstream now starting to come into effect. Is he going to have a little look, position himself? Maybe. Cooper just a little bit defensive, and I think he needed to. Holmes will get the slightly better exit. Cooper runs wide, picks up another off track, and we're going to be side by side, I'm sure, through McLean's.
Really, really feisty stuff from these guys. You can see just quite how oversteer it is, but Brian's gone really way too wide there. Delmont's right on the back of him already. I think that might have been it. He doesn't want Delmont to go down the inside. He's going to try and get the best run he can into this final chicane. You can clearly see, though, from the onboard that we had, he had the car set up in a very sort of oversteery way. You only had to put a tiny bit of input in. Cooper trying to just get rid of that slipstream as best he can down the straight, wash off a bit of speed. As they dive onto the brakes for one final time, it looks like Jason Cooper, Brian really, really committed to that final chicane.
Go on, Brian. That was impressive. He's not going to get there. It's going to go to Cooper, but that final chicane was something else. Have it.
That's why we've signed him up for Thrust Vector, I think, but that was spectacular. That's send it, if anything. That's the one phrase to sum that up. Sucking of that. There's Nathan Davis down the inside after going across the line. Just to reiterate as well, another pair of Youth Energy cars on the podium tonight. That's the third race of the evening. They'll be very, very happy with that. Oh, bit of contact. That's Ashton and Hardy.
There's some rubbing for you. Definite racing as well. They're going to take it all the way to the line.
Really slow run in the last corner.
Did Ashton just get that in the end?
I'm just looking at the screen. He did by 23 hundredths of a second. So, sorry, 23 thousandths of a second. I've got that down as. It's showing a little bit more on the timing. I think it's just rounded it up. I think that's probably what it's done. But yeah, really good battle in there at the end. But yeah, you've got to give it to Brian Holmes that last corner, who properly launched it. And I'm surprised he didn't get a slowdown, to be honest. And yeah, just as Ryan Flanagan says, just lick the stamp and send it. I've heard that phrase a few times recently, and yeah, he's not joking. That was awesome, really good stuff, and great way to round out the night as well. It's been a great little car and track combination actually, as Donington and the MX5. I might have to go and have a go when we're done tonight.
Definitely want to see it back on the schedule next season when they return. So yeah, that's a great race.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's always good to have Donington on the schedule. It's sometimes a bit of an overlooked circuit when you look at the whole UK racing scene, and yeah, I'm happy to have it there. Jason Cooper then wins the race from Brian Holmes with Adam Delmont in third. Nick McCarron and Jamie Ayres representing Momo fourth and fifth. Nathan Davis is sixth with Craig Williams in seventh. He'll be happy with that result tonight. Charlie Summers is eighth with Stelian Chepelewski in ninth. He gained 10 places in the end in that race. Craig Evans rounds out your top 10 for Northern Lights Racing. Haven't seen much of Craig tonight, so I'm pretty confident he'll be happy with at least getting a 10th. His teammate Jordan Giddings is 11th. Dan Hunt is 12th. Steve Hefford 13th. Peter Van Gool in 14th. And that was all that one big battle that we saw quite early on. Ben Mears is the highest placed AM driver. He wasn't very happy at the end of race 3, but he'll be happier now. Joe McDonald is 16th. Adam McNally 17th. And Jack Ashton in the Youth Energy car rounds out your top 18. They're then followed by Carl Hardy, who we just beat across the line there, with Carl Jacquelet 20th, Rob Graham 21st, Craig Jones 22nd, Scott Malcolm 23rd, and Mikel Garcia in 24th. Luke Cooper is the last of the cars on the lead lap in 25th place, with Anthony Mott 26th. Jerome Mersum is 27th, Max Wright 28th. Kip Cooper 29th, Jack McIntyre in 30th after his disqualification. Mick Barry is 31st. David Ayres 32nd, Thomas McDonald 33rd, Simone Nicastro 34th, Cesare Rizzo 35th, and Josh Thompson is 30th. The last 3 cars that were classified were Ashley Beard, Peter Knowles, and Tyler Lugo Vickery. And I believe we may, just having a quick look, see if we've not got anyone waiting for an interview yet, actually. Normally these guys are quite quick to get in our little interview waiting room and want to come chat to us, but clearly we're not that popular tonight, Alex.
No, clearly not. I think we should do just as we were advised there. Yeah, lick it and send it straight to the adverts and close the stream off. It's been a great race meeting, actually. Yeah, we're 10:30, and yeah, time for some chill and relaxation, I think. And yeah, the drivers will obviously be back next week, and looking forward to being in the box again with you, Chaz.
Yeah, and you, mate. It's been a really good night, and this series once again providing just a lot of excitement. There are obviously the odd incidents, but as we've said a couple of times tonight, it's a frantic racing series. They're just sprint races. They're all-out sprint races, and it brings out such a beautiful nature of what motorsport is all about. You've just got to go for it. Take every opportunity, and if you have an accident, it's, well, we've defended the reasons why tonight a few times. So, yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you very much, Alex, as well, for doing the cameras, doing such a great job as always. And thank you to everyone for watching. We hope you have enjoyed the stream, and thank you for iRacing for having us on the Esports Network. We will see you next Tuesday on about the same time, 8:15 in UK time. So until then, thanks very much.
The following is a presentation of the iRacing Esports Network.